Let's focus in, Rich, on the Tennessee Titans head coaching search. Took a huge swing early this week, trying to lure John Harbaugh into their building, actually planning to go visit him in Baltimore before the Giants locked in and eventually finished that deal with Harbaugh. But they are set for an important week moving forward. Our understanding is that the Tennessee Titans are setting up second interviews with a couple of their big-time candidates. Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, who no doubt is a top candidate in Miami as well. And then Matt Nagy, the Chiefs offensive coordinator. Nagy's an interesting one as well, guys. A former head coach, did incredibly well. A coach of the year in Chicago with Mitch Trubisky certainly has done an excellent job coordinating the Chiefs offense. The Tennessee Titans hire could be coming this week, guys.
Speaking of a second round of interviews, Nate Scheelhaase, the Rams pass game coordinator, has advanced to that portion of the program with the Cleveland Browns. You're seeing the other requests for him on the screen. The Steelers, the Raiders, the Ravens, those are the ones that have interviewed him so far. He hasn't been an offensive coordinator at the NFL level, but he did call plays at Iowa State. He's a former quarterback, and having worked with both Matt Campbell at Iowa State and Sean McVay in the NFL level, he's got the X's and O's and the leadership boxes checked as well. So this is a guy who could skip that offensive coordinator step, go right to head coaching. He has impressed in his interviews so far. Keep an ear out for Scheelhaase over the next week.
Texans defensive coordinator Matt Burke took over play calling in week 4, and he has been masterful. They have the #1 defense in the league. They absolutely smother opponents. And now Burke, a longtime assistant coach, has maybe been a little bit under the radar, is finally getting some notice as a potential head coach. The Arizona Cardinals have asked to interview him for their vacant job. So who is Matt Burke? Well, he played safety at Dartmouth. He's worked for 8 different NFL teams. He climbs mountains in his free time. He's done charity work in Uganda, and when you talk to folks around the Texans, they say the secret to his success is his relationships. He's comfortable talking to everybody in the building. He also, guys, happens to be from Hudson, Massachusetts, which is just about 35 miles up the road. There are a lot of people in this area with divided loyalties today, and they might have to start rooting for a new team for Matt Burke next season.
Another candidate for the Titans head coaching job is Mike McCarthy, who spent Saturday in Tennessee going through an in-person struggle to score points and is going to need to develop a young quarterback sooner than later. Also bears mentioning that if there is one coach that Aaron Rodgers might consider playing for the Steelers again for after Mike Tomlin stepped down, it would be the guy that he won that Super Bowl with in Green Bay. Now let's send it back to, is that...
The weekend, this is hour number 4 of 8.5 of our divisional playoff coverage here on NFL Game Day Morning, presented by Intuit TurboTax, taking you to kickoff toe meeting ball on ESPN and the ABC family of networks for the Texans and Patriots. And now less than an hour from now, Rich Eisen, Steve Mariucci, Kurt Warner, Kyle Brandt, who's going to be here in studio for Good Morning Football tomorrow.
Yes.
Which means you get to watch the Sunday night game here in Los Angeles.
You know it, Rich.
Post on a little thing on a seat back. Good to see Gerald McCoy here for the final hour of this program that starts with this thorny question. The guy who's done it forever in a day, or the guy who's pretty much done it for this year and 2 years in general, for game on the line production? Who do you trust more? Who do you want more tonight, Stafford or Caleb?
Yeah, there's no doubt that Caleb Williams has done great this year with all his comebacks. But when you look at the big picture and you look at the guy who's done it 54 times, comeback wins, Matthew Stafford, and he's been in this system for a long time with Sean McVay, so he knows the ins and outs. But the most important thing, I believe, is his receiving duo, best in the National Football League, with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. They're going to help him make those drives at the end of the game, then they can get it done.
Listen, I hear you, Mooch, and it's a huge leap of faith to talk Caleb in this situation. Stafford is classical music, and Caleb is jazz. And Stafford is an estate Pinot, and Caleb is Four Loko. He's nuts sometimes. It's absolutely out of control. However, the 2 footholds you go with in Caleb in the spot, I think he was the best scrambler in the NFL this year. Fantastic scrambler. I think he has the strongest arm in the NFL right now, too. And I think in that spot, in those conditions, I don't know how you don't see that 4th and 8 play and say this is the next big thing in the NFL. And I'm going to take him tonight in the conditions, in the crowd, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, that 4th and 8 play,
very seminal,
is truly one of the more remarkable moments, because they're down 11. And we all talk about what happened after that. But what happened after that doesn't happen without that.
Yes.
And he can do the off-platform for sure.
No question.
What do you think?
It's a good segue because I'm going to take you just the fact that we're having this conversation with a guy that's done it a million times, a guy that's probably the MVP, and a guy that's in his second year. But I'm just going to remind you, because when I was looking back at this question, I'm like, where do I go? And I probably lean towards Stafford, but I was reminded so many times of what Caleb has done. We can go back to week 9 against Cincinnati, right? Trying to come back. And not only is it drive the team down the field, it's big plays in these moments. Loveland being able to break a couple guys. Boom, we take this to Hal. They're just trying to tie the game. How about week 10? You talked about his legs, Kyle, right? We're getting outside against the Giants here, trying to run one of those naked bootlegs we just designed, but forget it. I'm just going to turn the corner. I'm going to take it myself. Turns the corner and finishes the game. And then twice against the Packers. We know this. Big touchdown to get them into overtime. And then in overtime, I mean, this throw in the weather, one-on-one, ball on the money, 60 yards down the field. Incredible. And everybody remembers the one last week, little fake screen. And then, boom, we're going to hit this, and we're going to send the Packers packing in this one. So I will probably take Matthew Stafford because I like the guys that have been there in the moment. But the fact that we're asking this question is, I think, a testament to what Caleb Williams has done this year in the moment. And it really, to me, comes down to who's got the ball last.
You said
whoever's got the ball last, I'll take them.
Strongest arm in the league and the best scrambler.
I think so.
Next-gen stats will time everybody running for touchdowns, see who's fast in the league. Caleb Williams has the fastest quarterback running times of anybody. He hit 21 miles an hour. That is speedball stuff. He is the fastest quarterback.
I can't believe you bailed in the middle of an XO like that. I've never seen you do that. Are you all right?
You know, it's like one after another after another. It was like,
way too many. I know you're ready for football.
I am ready for football. I'm ready to go.
You got out the gate early. What do you think, Gerald?
Yeah, I believe Caleb is the best escape artist in the league, by the way. And I love Caleb Williams. I picked him to win the division, one reason being because of Caleb Williams. I claim Caleb as an Oklahoma Sooner. I don't care if the UFC Trojans is on his Heisman Trophy. He's a Sooner. However...
He's still horns down?
He's still horns down. However, I'm going with the guy who's 5th all-time in this situation. He's also the guy who threw enough yards to Calvin Johnson for him to retire, go to the Hall of Fame, and he's still playing. I'm going with the guy who has a Triple Crown winner on his resume. I'm going with the guy who went on the road to Tampa and threw a game-winning pass to that Triple Crown winner. And I'm going with the guy who also, in the 4th quarter, in the biggest game of his career, you're supposed to use technique. He had a no-look pass to keep the game-winning drive going, went down, and won the game. I am going with Matthew freaking Stafford. This is what he does.
Triple Crown resume on his resume 2 times.
2 times?
Did it twice. Once in Detroit, once with the Los Angeles Rams. I'm just wondering what John Gruden thinks about all this.
I tell you what, man, I love both these guys. I love a lot of quarterbacks, but there's a couple of differences. Matthew Stafford stays in the pocket. Caleb Williams, you don't know which way he's going, man. I tell you what, though, I'm going to go Matthew Stafford. He's a Sean McVay guy, and if you bring my voice up, it is Sean McVay.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow. That's pretty close, man.
I never thought that. Stacey Dales, take it away.
Yeah, well, the Bears have similar respect for Matthew Stafford than John Gruden right there, guys. Listen, the Bears led the league in takeaways this season, but 23rd in terms of points allowed. Now facing Matthew Stafford with the #1 scoring offense in football. Kevin Byard telling me this week. Of course, you have to deal with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams in what he called a humming running game, but the respect they have for Matthew Stafford, the arm talent, 1 or 2 no-look passes a game. And then Dennis Allen, the Bears defensive coordinator, saying this week, when it comes to the receiving game with Matthew Stafford, exactly on point as to where that ball needs to go at all times. He said they cannot allow Matthew Stafford to manipulate them with their eyes. They have to disrupt him, affect him in the pocket, and they have to throw that timing and rhythm off. It is very cold here in Chicago, single degrees, and it's also chilly over in Foxborough as I throw to Jane Slater. Jane?
Hey, Dells, no, we're not in the teens here. We are in the 30s, but as you can see, the snow is coming down, and we are expecting a steady mix of it all the way through this game, so this will make this one interesting. Drake May is familiar with these type of conditions, but he isn't familiar with the success that this team has had under Mike Vrabel. He started off 3-14 to 15-3, and when you listen to Mike Vrabel talk about his quarterback, he'll tell you what stands out about him is his poise. He was sacked 52 times during the regular season, but still had one of the highest passer ratings and completion rate, and he's particularly good against pressure. Now, when we talk about this game and the defense of the Houston Texans, they are so good on the back end. They don't make a lot of mistakes, and they come at you fast. 19 interceptions so far this season. Now, Drake May has played against them before, Rich. Let's see how he does in this outing.
C.J. Stroud and the Texans and the Patriots played each other in Week 6. 3 touchdowns, including one to current Patriot Stephon Diggs. But the game was notable because it was Drake May's first career start of last year. He threw for 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in the 20-point loss. And now here he is this time around, hoping for a game ball because it's taken his team to the AFC Championship game. It's been a whirling